Williams was in the backfield. Now he sprints out. Heinschel avoids one or two tacklers, still on his feet as he cuts it inside. Down. Fake to Goff. Nice job to get the defender to commit inside the 5. Touchdown, Pitt. Heinschel to throw. Johnson. Touchdown. Second down. Heinschel to throw. He can run. Instead has a receiver in the back of the end zone. Deuce Spann for 6.
I was, as a freshman in high school, was talking to people about maybe transferring to a private school in my area, and was talking to my parents about that a lot. Had a lot of discussions about that. I was like, I want to stick it out at my high school. I want to play with my guys, and go do something really special. And like you said, we were able to do that for the first time in over 40 years.
Good morning, Coach O. I want to talk to you a little bit about quarterbacks today. You've coached some very successful quarterbacks that have gone on to play in college. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the quarterbacks that you've coached?
Yeah, going back to my days in Saline, we had just a phenomenal group of quarterbacks that played either Division I baseball, Power 4 baseball, or they went on to Power 4 football. Some really talented kids. I go through Zach Schwarzenberger, Cole Daniels, Logan Evans. Cole went to Kentucky and pitched. Zach played at Toledo and played baseball around the clock. And Logan is still, I think, in the Twins organization. And then after that, as I was leaving Saline, we had the Carr family. We had C.J. Carr and then Tommy Carr come through. Both of them are Power 4 guys. When I came here, I knew I had a young, talented, smart quarterback, but he was kind of raw in what he was doing. So what I did is, coming to Clay, I brought in our system from Saline, and Mason Heinschel just adapted like a champ, and it took him 2 games to win the starting spot as a sophomore, and he just ran since then. And in that 3-year period, we broke probably every offensive record in Clay, between yards, this, that. We made the playoffs 3 years in a row, We won a league championship, things that hadn't happened here in a long time. And currently with Landon Echelberry, he's just an all-around athlete between baseball and football. You look at Landon, he looks like a middle linebacker, but he plays like a quarterback. He's fast, he makes good reads, he's got a phenomenal arm between pitching and throwing a football. He throws dimes, and he's got the power to put it where it needs to be. He's a good kid.
And with having all these success with quarterbacks that you've had, what do you think it is about the system that we run here and the system that you brought, so now Coach P's system as well? What do you think makes quarterbacks so successful in these systems?
It's options that, as we've grown through my system and now in the Coach P's system, we've always given the quarterbacks options between the RPOs and just different reads. So if they don't like the run, if they don't like the box, they can rip it out wide. If they don't like where they're ripping out wide, they can run it inside the box. And we've been pretty successful at that in a lot of different areas. And I just think the blend between the two is just working out great for Clay High School.
And you've talked about the school making the playoffs 3 years in a row, which hadn't been done in a long time, winning the division, which hadn't been done in a real long time. What have you seen in growth from the time that you've been here through now and this upcoming season?
I think the growth is that the kids that have bought in the weight room, in the speed training, in the nutrition, the 3 major things that we pushed in the off season, and they bought into Coach P. They bought into the system. It's a different type of practice. It's a different type of mentality, but kids that have bought in have really, really thrived, and it's nice to see the outcomes of some of us. If we could get everybody to join on board, that'd be even better. But the kids that we have are pushed themselves in a lot of different categories, and that has just made Clay football that much better.
And between yourself and Coach Rowe, you guys teach the strength and the speed end of things here. And since Coach P came, and we've did a lot of different changes and adaptations to what we used to do, what has been the biggest impact because of speed and strength and somewhat nutrition, things like that, on and off the field, you think?
I see the transformation in almost every athlete that does it consistently. If they're in here consistently, excuse me, they have just they have their egos bigger. they're stronger, they're faster, they're working hard, and they know that. And that just leads to a good attitude across the program. Those kids are pumped up. I mean, 3 or 4 years ago, we didn't have the excitement in the weight room. We didn't have that kind of get after attitude. Now for a couple of years it's starting to grow, and now with Coach P's system it really has. Kids have bought on and kids have really got into it.
So tell me something that you're really excited about this upcoming season, something maybe on and off the field.
I'm really looking forward to our skill group coming back. It's going to be exciting, and we're changing things, tweaking things to their skill set. And I think between Landon, our quarterback, and our receivers and our running backs, I think we have a really good plan for this season. I'm really looking forward to that. Defensively, I know Coach Fall is going to keep us solid. And honestly, I look forward to see how Landon grows. You know, he's been a 2-year starter, freshman, sophomore. This is 3rd year starting. I think he can take us a long way in just his ability and his decision making.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Hello, Coach P. So this year you have a prior quarterback that is at Boston College named Mason that is going to go head-to-head with our Mason Heinschel. Can you tell me a little bit about him and some of the prior quarterbacks that you've had, that you've coached and that are playing at the next level?
Yeah, that's going to be a cool game when Boston College plays Pitt. Obviously, got to know Mason Heinschel, didn't get a chance to coach him here, but Coach Ostrander and some of the staff did. And then Mason McKenzie, who played for me in Caledonia in 22 when we went to the state finals, was a great player for me for 2 years there. So it'll be a really cool game to see with some connection to both of those quarterbacks. Mason was a great player for us in Caledonia. Mason Heinschel, obviously a great player here at Clay. Really trying to keep the tradition of having a great quarterback development system here at Clay. And I've been fortunate. I think I've coached 8 all-league quarterbacks, and I've coached a long time, so that can be a little deceptive. But I've coached a lot. I've been fortunate to develop and coach a lot of really good quarterbacks over my time.
And you were just inducted into the Michigan Hall of Fame in June. First off, congratulations. And secondly, what's something you've learned that helps you put our quarterbacks in the best possible position to win?
Yeah, that was a great tribute in June, and I know you were there, and some of our Clay staff was there. That meant a lot to me. But really just focusing on this year now, and I think some of the things that we do with our offense, with giving our quarterbacks the ability to, change the play pre-snap, change the play post-snap, the reads we put in, the freedom and decision-making we give our quarterbacks, I think puts them in a position to get into the best play. And that's something I've continued to give quarterbacks more and more freedom as I've developed as a coach.
Thank you. And with you coming in last year, what are some new additions or changes that you've made since coming to Clay that you've implemented that you feel have made the biggest impact to our program, maybe one on the field and maybe one off the field?
Well, I think I run a different offensive system. It's something that I've developed over 20 plus years. One of the things we're doing with our quarterbacks is we're giving them some pull reads on the run game, which I don't think there was a lot of that done here before I got here. Secondly, we allow them in some scenarios to kind of have a 3-way go where they may have a boundary throw, a grass throw, and a box run, and they can pick out of those 3 options. We call it play concepts rather than plays. And so those are package plays that we put in and allow the quarterback a lot of freedom.
And then how do you feel about our quarterback position this year and about the kids that you have in that room in general?
Well, I think it's definitely one of our stronger position groups. We returned Landon Echelberry, who's probably one of the best dual sport athletes in the state of Ohio for his class. He's a tremendous baseball kid, tremendous football kid. I think very soon he'll have offers. He's already got football offers. He's probably going to get baseball offers very soon. And he's going to be in his 3rd year as a varsity quarterback. He played his freshman year at Findlay and started for them, and then he started for us here last year. So even though he's only going to be a junior, he's a very experienced player and a great athlete. Carter Schreiber's done a great job playing quarterback in our system too, and is very much ready to go. And then Brody is a kid who could be really good for us. Brody Katchke, he's going to be a 10th grader, is already getting some college looks and could be a really good player here as well. So we're just trying to keep a strong line of quarterbacks that we're developing for Clay.
If you were a younger athlete and you were trying to maybe come to Clay to play quarterback in the future, what kind of things do you think you should work on?
Well, I mean, we're hoping to have, I thought our middle school program did a pretty good job of implementing some of our stuff that we do. So learning our system, learning our terminology, going to our middle school camps, getting involved here as much as they can, and continuing to try to develop as a player and an athlete. We also do a lot of really good things here. We've implemented a strength and speed program that I'm very proud of, that we do in the summer. We call it Flight School. We've had some really good participation with that, with our younger levels especially. So, just doing the things and the opportunities that we offer is a great start.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay. Hey, Landon, tell me a little bit about the decision-making that is required in Coach P's offense and how that empowers you as a quarterback to get the ball out of your hands into the right part of the field.
Yeah, so, it's got to be quick. You can't take your time or else, it might not be there. So you got to hit the vertical route somewhat soon. You can't wait and then throw it when they're all the way down there. And in the run game, I get the choice to pull it if I need to on all the runs. And just depends on what the guy does. And if he does, I pull it. And, that's what I like. I like having the ability to, give it to my running back or pull it and run it if I need to.
Now, what personal growth have you noticed since coming here at Clay and being under Coach Pennington's offense?
Yeah, I've definitely seen a little bit more of I feel like I'm a little bit more of a vocal leader than I was when I first came here. I was kind of quiet, but I think I'm doing a better job of that now. And then through Coach P, it's helping me, read the field better. That's what his offense mainly is. And then, yeah, just reading the field and figuring out what to do as quick as possible. I feel like I've gotten better at that.
You've had some big shoes to fill with Mason moving on to Pitt. And then how do you think that you can continue to grow over this season and next to continue the streak of quarterback play that we've had here at Clay?
Yeah, I just try and do the best I can, working every day to try and get better for my team. And, hopefully get up to the shoes that Mason put out there and just try and be the best I can.
Can you tell me a little bit about some of the camps and opportunities that you had since coming to Clay?
Yeah, I've been to a lot of college camps since I've been here. Got invited to Michigan State, Miami, Ohio, Kent State. I can't always make all of them just because of baseball and stuff, but I'm happy to get those invites, obviously. And then the ones I can make, I just go out and do the best I can, leave a good impression on the coaches.
And you've been lucky so far. You've had quite a bit of college offers already starting to come in, and you have some more on the way. I know you have some for baseball. But can you tell me a little bit about the insight on the side of football and what you've had come in so far for football?
Yeah, I've had 3 offers. Started my freshman year, I got Toledo. And then ended my freshman year, I got Miami, Ohio. And then just recently, this offseason, I got Kent State. And, all those are big for me and my family. That's what I've been working for my whole life. And, hopefully they just keep coming.
What do you think of the growth and advancement Clay has made in the last couple of years? And how do you think that we're going to continue to grow over the next 2 years that you have left?
Yeah, Coach P does a great job of, buying stuff that we need to make our team better and the best we can, buying catapults for our team, knowing how fast we're moving and stuff like that, our explosiveness, and then to buying flip sleds for our linemen so that they can get better and, move some stuff. And then he also buys us protein shakes, protein drinks for after workouts, so we're getting our protein in after we put the work in of working out. And we keep doing that. We're gonna just keep getting better.
And if you were a middle schooler getting ready to move up next year, be a freshman, or you were possibly somebody moving into our district, what advice could you give them about how to acclimate to what we have here and get better?
You know, I would just say, you know, show up every day that you can. Unless you have like some emergency or something, you should be there every day, you know. Put in the work as hard as you can, 100% effort for everything you do, and just no days off.
Thanks, Landon.
Sir.